one thing about parallel lines, if you had two vertical lines, those are parallel, but neither one of them have a slope. The slope is undefined. So just pointing that out. Okay, now we're going to talk about perpendicular lines. So perpendicular lines, you have a line, and then you have a line that intersects it. But not just any way. They have to intersect at right angles. So the little square indicates that that's a 90-degree or right angle. And when that happens, those lines are said to be perpendicular. Okay? So you're going to have one slope being positive and one slope being negative, unless there's a zero slope. Okay, so you could have perpendicular lines, like you could have a horizontal line and a vertical line, and those would be perpendicular. But the thing about the slopes on perpendicular lines, so if you have this as line 1 and this is line 2, then if you multiply their slopes, you'll get -1. And another way to say it is their opposite slopes, well, let me rewrite this. Their slopes are opposite reciprocals. So if you have a slope of 3 for your first line, then the perpendicular line, that's the symbol for perpendicularity, the perpendicular line would be -1/3. So one's got to be positive and one's got to be negative, unless it's this case here where you have a zero slope and an undefined slope. Okay, and if you had a line that had a slope of -2/3, then the line perpendicular would be +3/2. So you're going to do the reciprocal and the opposite sign. Okay? So that's what perpendicular lines do. That's what their slopes do. So here it says, find the slope of any line that's perpendicular to the line whose equation is, and they give us this equation in general form. So what we need to know is we need to know the slope of that equation. Well, to do that, we're going to solve for y. So we have 4y equals the opposite of x plus 8. So think about putting the x on the other side and the -8 coming to the other side. They change signs. It looks like that. Then divide everything by 4. So you get y equals -1/4 x plus 2. So, okay, so think about that. So here's the slope of this line. So any line perpendicular to x plus 4y minus 8 equals 0. Any line perpendicular to that line is going to have a slope of, now go opposite reciprocal, 4. 4 over 1, you can put it over 1 if you want, but we probably would just say 4. Okay, so here's this line that we could graph. We're going to do that in the next little part here. It says, write the equation of the line passing through 3, -5, and perpendicular to the line, that line that we were just using. Okay, so remember we had the equation right here. So that has a y-intercept of 2 and a slope of down 1 and to the right 4. Okay, so let me try to draw this line. Okay, that's this line right here. That's a picture of it. There are all kinds of lines perpendicular to it, right? Like you could have a line here, or here, or here, or here. I don't want to draw too many because it's going to be in my way. But there's infinite number of lines that could be perpendicular to our orange line. But now we want to find the one that goes through 3, -5. So where is 3, -5? 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we want to go through this point, but we're going to be perpendicular to our line. Okay, so I'm not going to draw it yet because I'm going to get some points. If my slope of this orange line, if that slope was -1/4, then my slope has to be, be 4, or 4 over 1, right? Okay, so I'm counting up from this point that I know. I'm counting up 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 1. And so my line's going to go like that. Now hopefully those look like right angles there, so I'm not very good at drawing them. Okay, but that's the line that we're trying to find the equation of. A line perpendicular to the orange line, but it also has to go through the point 3, -5. So we know a point and we know the slope, so we can use point slope. So y minus -5 equals the slope 4. I'm just going to put 4, x minus 3. Okay, so this was my x1 and my y1, and then here was my slope. All right, they say to express the equation in general form this time. Usually they don't say general form, but we can do that. Y plus 5 equals 4x minus 12. To express it in general form, we're going to put everything on the left. And so we'll subtract the 4x. And we're going to add the 12. So think about adding 12 here, equaling 0. Now, I don't remember if it specifically says to have A be positive, but we certainly can do that. You just multiply everything by -1. They may not care. They don't remember. So I didn't remember, but if the definition may very well say A has to be positive. They usually have it be positive, so I was just curious. And there it is in general form. Okay.